Strat-O-Matic Excel Carryover League. Brought to you by the Shrimp Troller. 1972 to 1975.
Game 232, Tigers at Indians. Welcome back, baseball fans. 1972-75 Carryover League. We got a big series in the American League North tonight between the Detroit Tigers and the Cleveland Indians. The two oldest franchises in their division, newly created. We'll get into more of that later with the expansion Ohio players and the relocated Expos. Let's just get right into this. This is a long one. So, best of 7 in a divisional round. And, oh gosh, goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. Game 1, Gaylord Perry for the Cleveland Indians versus Mickey Lolich for the Detroit Tigers. I looked it up. These guys threw 670 innings combined in 1972. So what do you think happens, folks? Well, dueling perfect games through the fourth, but Dick McAuliffe gets stranded with a double. Jim Northrup gets stranded with a double. Gaylord loses his perfecto because of an error by Jerry Terrell in the 6th, and then Buddy Bell gets a single in the 7th. All your scoring in the bottom half when Al Kaline singles and a Norm Cash 2-run homer is the ball game. Lolich, 2 hits shutout. 3 batters over the minimum. What was the third batter? An error. An error and 2 singles, 3 over the minimum. 6 strikeouts, complete game. Gaylord Perry 6 hits, the 2-run homer. Neither team walked, but they struck out 13 times combined. Mickey Lolich, Gaylord Perry, in a duel for the ages. Tigers win game 1. But the Indians have something up their sleeve in game 2. Jim Perry, the brother, says, well, I'll show you, versus Tom Timmerman. We get Ron LaFleur actually had a huge day, all for naught. Single, stole a base, ball threw out to center field, scores on a double play. 3rd inning, single, steals a base, scores on a single. That is all Detroit's scoring. Meanwhile, the Indians get RBI single by Vada Pinson, RBI single by Boog Powell. You get a single by Gamble, a 2-run double by Duke Sims. That's all the scoring as the Cleveland and Detroit bullpens finish this thing 5-2. Jim Perry, 8 1/3, 5 hits. Give Tom Hilgendorf a save in the 9th. And the Tigers blow the home field by losing. It's 1-1. However, speaking of home field, we go to game number 3. A long, grueling affair. And if you see all this pretty color here, it means it went extra innings. You go all the way through till the extra spots, then you turn around and fill up extra areas. Then you have to, take a deep dive for the pitching stats. It started as Joe Coleman, Fritz Peterson. 7 innings for Coleman, 8 hits and 2 runs. 8 1/3 for Peterson, 5 hits and 2 runs. Stayed that way. Good relief pitching. Bob Veal, 3 scoreless innings. Inning and a third for George Culver. For the Indians, you had inning and a third for Tom Buskey. 3 2/3 for Ray Lamb until he gives up a triple in the top of the 14th, a strikeout, then an RBI single by Jerry Terrell to give the Tigers their 3rd run, a hit and a walk. Hilgendorf comes in to get Norm Cash out for the final out. But in the bottom half, once again, John Hiller, too much. Just too much John Hiller today. 2 2/3, a hit, 3 strikeouts. And your Tigers, the team that was in the World Series a year ago, this is the type of game you have to try and win, Cleveland, to show that you're ready. I mean, this is what playoff and World Series and all that stuff is. And the Tigers, there's an expression, you got to be goth. You all know what goth means, right, folks? You just have to be goth. Cleveland, you need to get over the hump, Cleveland. Get over the hump and show you're up there with the Tigers. And don't be pretenders. Go goth. Game 4. And unfortunately, it's a rematch of Lolich and Gaylord Perry. And a devastating similarity in this one. This time, Lolich is on the road. Perry's at home. Bottom of the second, it looks good for the Tribe. A walk, a double, after an out. Norm Cash commits an error. And that's an unearned run, 1-zip. All the way to the 9th we go. Gaylord Perry working on a 2-hitter. But after an out, a walk to McAuliffe. A single to K-Line. A walk to Norm Cash, hitting the point of weakness, and we're like, it's got to be Gaylord. You just have to let him do it. Let him try and get over the hump. And he gets up a single to Willie Horton, and that's 2-1 now. And then Jim Northrup hits a fly ball to right field, and Charlie Spikes does throw Norm Cash out the plate to make it interesting. But Mickey Lolich, oh my Mickey. Shutout last time, 9 innings, 6 hits, 1 unearned run, couple walks, couple strikeouts. That's 18 unearned run innings. And the Tigers, who lost home field, regained it +1. They're up 3-1. They can win in Cleveland or in a game 6 or 7 in Detroit over the unable to get over the hump Cleveland Indians. Game number 5 today. Interesting matchup. Battle of number 4 starters. For your Detroit Tigers, it'll be the rookie Dave Lemanchek. In 75, 2-7 with a 4.46 ERA in 100 innings. Tigers were just hoping that he doesn't pitch that much this year as the number 4 starter, because they can use Gary Gentry out of the bullpen, Bob Veal, George Culver, John Hiller. Since those guys don't pitch very much when Mickey Lolich, Joe Coleman are on the mound. Your Cleveland Indians will send Dick Chidrow out there. 72, 237 innings, a 2.77 ERA, 114 games. Not bad pitcher. Eventually gets traded to the Yankees and is a reliever. Let's get started from Cleveland. They absolutely positively need this thing, man. They need it. And leading off for your Tigers, new rookie Ron LaFleur, 39. He rolls a short. Dick McAuliffe, 1-6. Homer 1, double. 2-base hit. And it's Al Kaline who strikes out. Norm Cash, 68. Pops to short. Bottom of 1. Buddy Bell now in the leadoff spot. Cleveland has juggled everything, trying to shake this thing up. They should hit better than they are. 3-8, base hit center field for Buddy Bell. Good start. John Let It Be Lowenstein, 4-9 a walk. Now you got Duke Sims batting third for the first time all year. Ball 4, the new lineup is paying off. Dividends already. Bases loaded, nobody out for Charlie Spikes. 58, strikeout. Now you got your Boog pal. 1-5 is a 4-6-3 double play. Somebody is not over the hump. Somebody's finding the hump hard to figure out. Bases loaded, nobody out. Off Dave Lemanchek. Chance to blow his doors off. They just make it more difficult for themselves. Top of 2. It's Willie Horton. Here's a who. 66, base hit. Jim Northrup, 68, pops to short. Tom Verizor, 65, center. Jerry Terrell, 36, is a strikeout. Bottom of 2. Oscar Gamble, 2-7 is a base hit. Frank Duffy, 2-3, lines the third. Veda Pinson, 54, center X. You got Ron LaFleur out there. He's not very good. He's a 4-11 in center field, and that'll be a 3-base hit for your Indians, and they have a lead. 1-0. Runner at third, 1 out. The infield comes up for Jack Deadblow Hammer, who pops to third. And Buddy Bell, who singled in the first. 59, strikes out. You know, Cleveland has come out of the shadow. I mean, their heyday was versus the Yankees in the 50s and 60s with a fantastic pitching staff. I mean, the American League was the New York Yankees, let's face it. Plus the incredible Cleveland pitching staff. That was it, those two things. Meanwhile, the National League had a whole bunch of teams who were probably the 6 best teams in baseball were 4 teams from the National League, the Yankees and the Indians. Well, now the Indians don't have to worry about the Yankees anymore. The only problem is they stink for like a couple decades. So, yeah, there's that problem. John Stevenson, 49, short X. Shortstop is Mr. Frank Duffy at 2E19, makes the play. The whole point was getting Cleveland and Detroit away from the Yankees, Orioles, and Red Sox in their own private division where they could rule it. But so far, only one has ruled. It'll be Ron LaFleur. 1-3, rolls a short. Dick McCall at 5'11", pitcher X, Tidrow, E6. Makes the play. Bottom of the third. John Lowenstein, 58, second X. McCallus at 2E13. Makes the play. Duke Sims, 37, another walk. Has a ton of them. 100 something. Charlie Spikes, 1-8, single on a 4, can't get it. And with 2 outs, it's Boog Powell, 56, he walks. 2 on, 2 outs, Oscar Gamble, 52, center. Tigers watching LeManchek closely. He's got him in a clinching game here through 3. This dude gets through 4, 5, 6 innings, they'll pull him. Chance to win the series 4-1, and they can pull themselves up in the standings. Al Kaline, 5'10", is a walk. Norm Cash, 1-3, is a 6. 4-3, double play. Willie Horton, 56, off of the Tidrow card, double 108, gets a 2-bagger. And it's Northrup. 6-12, skies to right. Bottom of the 4th, it's Frank Duffy. 1-5, short. Veda Pinson, 2-5, double 1-12, 2-bagger. Jack Deadblowhammer, 58, second X. McCall's a 2E13, makes the play. Runner at third, 2 outs. For Buddy Bell, 49 is single 1-19, and he gets it. That'll score a run. So they got a double, a ground ball, and another single, and it's 2-zip. John Lowenstein, 45, we're getting the LeManchek card here. Triple 1-10, double. It is a 2-base hit, and you got to run Buddy Bell here. 14 runner, 15, 16, but you got LaFleur in a plus arm. He is going to score on a dubious 16 because you get that plus arm. That's why LaFleur doesn't play a full-time role in this team because of bad defense. It's now 3-zip. Duke Sims, 4-12, center. Top of the 5th, 3-0 Indians. Tom Verizor, 110, pitcher. Jerry Terrell, 42, pops to third. John Stevenson, 6'11", left X. Lowenstein's a 3E8. And he makes the grab. Give Dick Tidrow his flowers. 5 scoreless, 3 hits, and a walk. Bottom of the 5th, let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
All right, bottom of the 5th, LeManchek, down 3-zip. Charlie Spikes, 4'11", right X. Out and right, it is Al Kaline, a 2E2 with a -2 arm to boot. And he's a 2E4 at first base. That's a lot of defense at 2 positions, folks. Boog Powell, 3'10", flies to right. And Oscar Gumball, 5'11", pitcher X, LeManchek. Can you field, young man? Well, he's an E13 in his rookie campaign. Unfortunately, that's not good enough to prevent an error from happening. And you got Frank Duffy, runner on it. 2 outs. 1-8 flies to center. We go to the 6th, 3-0 game. Tigers need to get one of those crooked number innings and see if the Indians wilt. Ron LaFleur, 312 Lomax. McAuliffe, 112, hit by pitch. Al Kaline, 58, short X. Not a lot to show on the cards, folks. It's been all on the pitcher's cards and errors like that one. Well, we had an error to Lemanchek, and now we have an error by Mr. Frank Duffy. Now, folks, he's a 2E19 shortstop. This inning should be over. But here come those Tigers. They take advantage of most mistakes, miscues. And they'll be Norm. Let's take a look at Norm Cash. I haven't looked at cards today. Norm freaking Cash, 72, 22 dingers, a 259 average. Still rushes righties. Lefties give him a lot of problems suddenly, which is not good for Norm. Doesn't give him a full-time role either, even though he's a pretty good defensive first baseman. Tidrow, throwing a shutout, still in the 6th inning, 3-run lead. Got to pitch to him here and just, give him an intentional, unintentional walk if you must, but not a 3-run homer. Here's the pitch. 3-6, flies to right, B question mark. Deep, not deep enough. And it's Willie Horton. 4-11, right X. Out in right field, you have Charlie Spikes. He's a 3E11. And he makes the grab. Tidrow pumps his fist as he goes to the dugout. Battled the 2 power hitters in a tie-run scenario. Lemanchek will continue. He's had, his ups and downs in this one, but otherwise it's just a 3-0 game. Veda Pinson, 57 is a K. Jack Deadblowhammer rolls to first. Buddy Bell, 65, short X. Tom Verizor, a 344. That's an error. Lowenstein, 1-9, triple 1 double is a double to center field. We got to try it again with Buddy Bell. And this time it's a 17, and he got nipped. He did the same sort of run he did before, but this time LaFleur got a little bit more mustard on it. It's 14, plus 2 with 2 outs makes it 16. Actually, this is back in the area of review. They're going to review this one, folks. That's a plus 1 arm center fielder, and he's a 14, and it's plus 2 for 2 outs. That's a 17. He got the 17. He's safe at the plate, and he is ruled safe at the plate. To the dismay of the Tigers. 2 almost. You have Mickey Stanley in center field, right? It's a 2-0 game. Ron LaFleur in center field, it's a 4-0 game. Tough one there for Lemanchek and company. And it's Duke Sims. 2-9, Sky's the center. He will leave the game. And their backup catcher, Ray Fosse, will take over. That's the only defensive replacement. 4-0 affair for Tidrow in the 7th. He can't lose today. They'll be gone before they get the tie run up again. Jim Northrup, 37's a K. Verizor 1-4 short. And Terrell 4-10. Lines to third. 4-0 Indians. Stretch time here in Clevetown. We, of course, are enjoying the Your Album LP in 1969. Take a look around. Funk 48. And 49 comes a little bit later. Next record, I think. Yeah. And, that's Stop, Lost Woman, Joe Walsh and Company, Your Album, James Gang. Back to the game here. And bottom of the 7th inning, I think we've seen enough of Lemanchek. He'll leave after 6. We're going to go Gary Gentry in the 7th. Gentry was penciled in to be the number 4 starter, and then they decided that he'd bring more value to a bullpen as a reliable long man, perhaps pitch more frequently, and we'd hide Lemanchek as a number 4 starter, and so here comes Gary Gentry. Should be a starter. Probably the best starting pitcher not to be a starting pitcher in the carryover league, or one of those. Charlie Spikes leading off in the 7th. 36 is a K. Hey, your Boog Pal, 2-9 singles. Oscar Gamble, 2-9 is a single to left field. Pal holds at second. 2 on. Frank Duffy. 411, first X. Now Norm Cash 211 had a big error yesterday. And another one today. A couple cracks to redeem himself, didn't happen. They're loaded. Veda Pinson. Let's look at the ground ball A and B possibilities here. We're going to bring it up. 210 for Veda is single ... and the Indians are rolling today, folks. Runners on the corners. Still up for Brohammer. 111-5. And just like that, it seems Gary Gentry is a rusty bell. He is just rusty, as you can imagine out there. And it's showing, folks. He's getting up the same amount of runs that Mr. LeManche gave up with only one out recorded. 8-0 affair here suddenly. Getting out of control. Buddy Bell, 1-7. Homer, 1-8. Fly ball! Let's take a look at the Buddy Bell card. 1973. Now, prior to this, he was playing some outfield and third base, and then they said, man, you're such a slick fielding third base, and we're just going to stick you there. He said, 2E23 at third. Moreover, with this card for Cleveland, give the man 680 plate appearances as a third baseman. That's a lot. That's more than Brooksy, for instance. Buddy Bell, 1-7. Homer, 1-8. It is gone, and this is just out of control Cleveland. A 10-burger, 10-0. Gary Gentry's gotten one out in this inning. John Lowenstein walks. Duke Sims, 53. Pitcher B. And actually, that wasn't, that was Ray Fosse, 53. That's left X, excuse me. Left X, not pitcher B, because it's right-handed batter Ray Fosse. And left fielder is Northrop, a 2E6. So it's a fly out for Fosse. 2 outs, a man on first, and it's Charlie Spikes again. And, yeah, we'll just let this guy finish the game. Left X. He needs the pitch. And lefty relievers on Detroit have been overworked a bit. Another ball hit to Northrop. He catches that one, too. 10-zip for Tidrow. And now he's working on a CGSO. John Stevenson. 2-9, third. LaFleur, 67 left. And McCullough, 55. 111 base hit. K-line, 2-8. Pops out. Tigers, just want to go home and win this series in front of their home fans in a game 6 or 7. Bottom of the 8th. Boog Powell, 35 walks. Gamble, 1-5. 4-6-3 double play. Frank Duffy, 59, second C. Any defense to help Mr. Tidrow get a shutout? Not really. We go to the 9th, and the story today is Dick Tidrow, a double, a single, double, hit some walks, an error in there. But really, it's been a slow matriculation of runs and then the blowout. As we go to the 9th, that's Norm Cash. 2-6 rolls to third. Willie Horton, 69, center. And Jim Northrop, 38, single 118, gets an 18. And Verizor, 68, flies to right. There it is. Dick Tidrow could do something that Gaylord Perry could not quite do. Get a shutout. I mean, Gaylord literally had to get a shutout facing Lolich. Tidrow actually does, facing LeManche. A 10-0 victory for the Indians. Again, you know, the tough, nail-biting games you lose, but when you win, it looks so simple. And the Indians, we'll have to look at the standings too. Dick Tidrow, complete game, 5-hitter, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Gary Gentry in his inning, 5 hits, 6 runs. 4 were earned. And he walked 1-1, 2 walks and a strikeout. But LeManche loses, giving up 7 hits and 4 runs. And 3 of those are earned, walking 4, striking out 3. 1-0-9, 0-1-0-8, 10-12-05. 2-3-6-4, 6-4, 2-3. Tigers only had 7 men on base this game. Cleveland put on 18 in a late rout. Well, it's going to make the stats look pretty good for the Tribe. Let's take a look at an overall year-to-date for these two teams. And then at the end of the video, I'll give you the results from Game 6 and 7 if necessary. Cleveland and Detroit. This division is suffocating itself. Everybody is crawling towards mediocrity here. So, both clubs are at 500 exactly. Tigers started horribly, 2-6, and then they got their mojo. Cleveland started fantastically, they lost their mojo. Expos started fantastically, they lost their mojo. Matter of fact, in this division, they're 700, 500. You see, the teams who aren't an expansion team are just separated by a game. So anything can happen in this division, in the American League, along with anything can happen in this division in the East. Actually, the Red Sox are pulling away slightly. So it looks like it's Oakland's league at this point. Getting back to the stats, though, let's start with Cleveland. 8-8. They are hitting .236 with a sparkling .286 team ERA being wasted with a .500 record. Gaylord Perry, he's 2-3 with 4 complete games, but his ERA is .204. Lolich, 15 runs in 50 innings, is a .270 ERA. He's 3-1 for the Tigers. Offensively for Cleveland, nobody has 3 homers. They do have Lowenstein with 12 ribbies. Buddy Bell's 21 for 64. That's going to be 333 or close to it. 328. Tigers, man, John Hiller's got 3 saves. Was only allowed to run in the 3rd innings. Coleman and Lolich are 6-2 combined, but Timmerman and Lemanchek are 1-5. The big thunderous bat of Willie Horton. Who else? 8 homers and 19 RBIs in 18 games. Early MVP chatter for Willie Horton, the American League. So that's it for now. We'll give you the results of Game 6 and 7 if necessary. So stay tuned. Well, baseball fans, here's the box score from the game you saw. The Cleveland rout at home in Game 5. 10-0. Tidrow, 5 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, and a CGSO. Lemanchek was 6 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned. But Gary Gentry was rusty and pretty bad, blowing any chance the Tigers had for a comeback in this. So what ultimately happens? We go back to Detroit for a Game 6. Can Cleveland get over the hump? No, they can't. Jim Perry. The Tigers don't care what Perry goes out there. Gaylord Perry, Jim Perry, Matt Perry. It just doesn't matter that much. In this one, it's Tom Timmerman going 6 innings, giving up 8 hits, 2 runs. They came early. The Indians came out with 3 doubles in the first couple frames, but they got all over Jim Perry really the whole time. 2 in the first, 2 in the second, a homer in the 5th by Norm Cash. And then all over Perry in the 6th. They bring in Grisenda. That doesn't help either. 6th run, 6th inning. It's 11-2. George Culver gets some work and relief for the Tigers. It's an 11-4 final for the Tigers, who win the series 4-2. And again, if we go to look at the overall standings, where have the Tigers, who were so bad to start the season at? They're a half game out of first right there. Just a half game behind a fading Expo and a fading Indian team. Expos swept by the Yankees. Indians, of course, losing 4 out of 6. So you just can't throw mud, dirt. You cannot bury the Detroit Tigers. The 1968 Detroit Tigers just keep running it back year after year after year with the same cast. And it continues to work. They are probably one of the biggest beneficiaries of the realignment. And when you think about it, in the American League, it's them. In the National League, it's probably the Dodgers, even though they're playing terribly, because these guys, the Big Red Machine, they're not in the West anymore. And the Big Red Machine of Johnny Bench and company are knocking knuckles with the Pirates in this ridiculous division. So, yeah. So they're not taking advantage of their good fortune, but the Tigers certainly do. Break up your Tigers. 4-2 winners over the Cleveland Indians. Thanks for checking this out. We'll see you next time.